quick note yesterday, of course, Bob Knight visits Indiana basketball practice with Coach Woodson. Just kind of a cool thing to see after all the years of what has gone on. But nice to see him out there and see that being kind of brought together again.
Yeah, I mean, as ever, I think the people that, and I said this the day that the day he came back in 2020, and I think it still rings true. I think the people you feel best for are players who probably for a long time felt that their loyalties were a little bit divided, that by supporting their alma mater, they might be angering their head coach or vice versa. And they don't, I think Todd Leary told our reporter Dana Benbow for a story around them that we don't have to choose anymore. And I think that there's some harmony there. And, as much as this sort of thing matters to fans, and I think you can find a lot of different opinions within IU's fan base on Bob Knight. I don't think the fan base thinks with anything close to resembling one mind on the topic of Bob Knight. As much as it matters to fans, as much as it matters to, sort of a harmonious forward progress of the program, I think that's good too. But, I think the other part of it too is maybe don't make too much out of it. Bob Knight's really important to Mike Woodson. He's said it many, many times. And, it means a lot to have him there. I mean, I think about when Tom Crean would have Ralph Willard stop by his practices. And I know Ralph Willard was nowhere near as successful, obviously, as Bob Knight, but you got the same sense of satisfaction from Tom Crean being able to show a man who had been his mentor, who had given him multiple opportunities in the game and been someone that Tom really referred to as one of the most influential figures in his coaching career. The opportunity to kind of show him, think of the pride you'd feel in saying, hey, you gave me my shot. Now look where I am. Look what I've done. Look what I've built. And I think there's also an element too of, don't overthink it. This is also Mike Woodson just being able to show the man who gave him his chance, where he is and what he's done.
I mean, Bob Knight himself, actually, if you think back now, he did the same thing. It was Claire B. or his it was Fred Taylor from Ohio State.
Taylor, yeah.
Even Woody Hayes. I mean, he looked up to these great coaches, and he was friends with guys like Bill Parcells and even oh my gosh, how am I drawing a blank on the trainer's name, the horse trainer's name that won all the Kentucky Derbies. He was always around greatness, if you think about it.
Yeah, and again, just think how you'd feel, I was a statistician and manager for my high school basketball team. It was a way to get out of wrestling in the winter because I played football and my line coach was the wrestling coach and he made you wrestle if you weren't doing anything else. And I did not want to wrestle for Coach McEwen. God bless him. So
I wrestled one year. I hear your pain, brother.
It was a way to say, nope, sorry, coach, I've got something else to do in the winter months. But it was something I really enjoyed and relative to where my high school had been historically, we were pretty good. And I have stayed in touch with my, my high school coach, and every once in a while I'll bounce an idea off him or ask him, kind of to walk me through something maybe I don't understand. And I put a bug in his ear because he's retired now, but he's refereeing games down in and around Noonan, Georgia, which is not far from Fayetteville, where Caleb Banks plays. And so I put a bug in his ear to keep an eye out for Caleb Banks. This winter and let me know if he sees him and what he thinks. And, it's just like that. Those interactions are a lot of fun for me, to go back to Coach Carroll and talk basketball more as peers. He used to be the one with all the knowledge and all the stories, and he's probably still got more knowledge. I'm guessing I have a few more stories these days, but my point is just imagine how you'd feel. If someone you regarded as and then that's why I said, at one level too, don't don't overcomplicate it. Like it's also just
Let it be what it is.
Mike Woodson has an enormous amount of understandable affection for Bob Knight, and now he gets to sit next to Bob Knight at practice. You know, two men with great careers in basketball. I mean, like, you know, and Knight overshadows a lot of people, obviously, but Mike Woodson's been head coach of the Knicks, man. I mean, you know, like it's he played what 11 years in the NBA. Like, how many people don't play 5 years in the NBA?
Right.
So my point is, like, yeah, like you said, let it be what it is too. This is just Mike Woodson. That is a moment I think of real satisfaction for him, frankly.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's even better than for people than your parents. I mean, because this is, you work for something, and to see that come to fruition, absolutely.